Let's go. Okay, guys, welcome back. Very sorry about last week. We had some technical difficulty. It was absolutely pouring here. We had terrible weather, and yeah, we couldn't be more sorry about the way it turned out. But thanks for coming back this week. This week we are very lucky to be joined by Karli Johansen. Okay, she is a member of the women's national team. She has been for the past 7 years. She has 148 international caps. She's got about 30 international goals. Okay, a lot of them come from drag flicking, which is something she's going to teach you guys today. Okay, like I said, we're extremely lucky to have her in a beautiful sunny day in BC, and hopefully you guys learn something new. If you have a question, type it in the chat. Okay, Karli's going to cover things like drag flicking and aerials. Okay, these are high level skills, okay, that take you to the next level. If you want to make any team in the world, if you perfect drag flicking, doesn't matter how good the rest of your field hockey is, if you can score goals and you can drag flick, you can make any team. Okay, so hopefully this is the start of your drag flicking and goal scoring career. Okay, and Karli's going to show you that in a little bit. Okay, but to start, it's just going to be me. Okay, I'm going to carry on with the skills. In the previous few weeks, we worked on ground skills, side to side, standing still. We then went to aerial skills. Okay, after that, we moved on to everything done on the move. Okay, and then we lifted on the move, then we changed direction, change of speed. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit more about footwork. Okay, that's something I often speak about. Okay, I think it's an underrated ability in field hockey. Okay, if you've got sharp footwork, okay, and you're pretty sure-footed, your skills are accentuated, okay, and they come a little bit more of an elimination instead of just a trick. Okay, so we're going to work on footwork, a little bit of body work. Okay, we see where we get from there. And then I'll hand it over to Karli, and Karli will do some of the cooler stuff. Okay, so bear with me until you get to do the fun stuff. But yeah, we'll get cracking pretty soon. Okay, so like I said, if you have your stick, okay, and you're able to go along with it, perfect. Okay, if you don't have your stick and you aren't able to go along with it, maybe you have to keep quiet in the house. Whatever the case is, go to the YouTube link, rewatch the video, watch them. Okay, by the end of it, you'll have 5, 6, 7, 8 videos, okay, that you should be able to watch and rewatch and go through all of them. Okay, they kind of build on from one another. Okay, but do them in that order. So I'll get started and then we'll move on to Karli. Okay, so I'm just going to lower this. Okay, perfect. So guys, what I've got my GRYPHON stick, obviously, and I've got a set of cones, and I will use just one ball. Okay, so I'll set them up in a line like this. Okay, so just to get us started, okay, we've done this the same as every other week. We're just moving the ball from side to side. Okay, we're just getting everyone warmed up. You're getting your skills going before we move on. Okay, and we break down a few extra skills. Okay, I'll go for about 10-15 minutes with a couple of tricks, and then we will move on. Okay, so let's get going. Let's move side to side. Okay, perfect. That should get us going. We should be warm from there. Okay, what we're going to do now, a lot of it is ball carrying. Okay, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'll show you the skill first, and then I'll explain how to do it and why we do it and what we're trying to achieve when we're doing it. Okay, so I'm going to carry the ball down the right-hand side of these cones. Okay, using my feet and my body, my upper body, I'm going to make it look as if I'm passing the ball to the left, and I'm going to continue going. Okay, so it looks like this. And you continue. Okay, it may seem simple, but if you can do that at speed, if you can carry the ball, if you can shuffle your feet and your upper body to make it look like you're going to pass left and continue going straight, okay, it can be quite an effective way to move defenders without having to do anything fancy with your stick. Okay, so I'll show you that again. Yeah, one more time. Okay, so what you can do there is you can look a little bit before you do it to really sell it as if you're carrying the ball. You can look as if you're going to pass. You go, and then you continue straight. The good thing about these skills, like I said, is you don't have to do a million fancy tricks, okay, and risk losing control. You're just carrying the ball forward. The body work, okay, you're throwing your body into that, and then you're going to continue straight. Okay, you're trying to move defenders out of position. Okay, with these guys, it's important that if you do get defenders' body weight to shift, okay, if you do get them to move, you accelerate out of these skills. All of these skills you accelerate out of. Okay, so one last time. Okay, I'm carrying the ball in slow-mo. Okay, I'm carrying the ball there. I've looked like I'm going to pass, and I've continued to accelerate out of these skills. Okay, we're going to shift over to the other side with a similar concept. I'm just going to shuffle these cones across. Okay, it's a similar idea, except on the other side. Okay, I'm carrying the ball. I've gone there, I've opened up, and then I've continued straight. Okay, so I'll show you one more time. So I'm carrying the ball there, I've opened up. Okay, and just that small body movement, that hesitation, looks as if I could pass the ball past the defender's left foot, okay, or the ball out to the right. Okay, if I do that and I can get someone to freeze, okay, I can take this space in front of me if I accelerate. Okay, so these are slightly more nuanced niche skills. Okay, they're not the same tap, 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 tap. We've covered that. These are something extra. Okay, if you want to look at what body feints can do, okay, what eye contact can do, okay, and opening the face of the stick, they're just a little something extra. Okay, so I'm carrying the ball there. I've opened. Okay, it's not massive stick work. Okay, it's just open there. You open the face of the stick, shift the body weight, close off so that you can continue straight past. Okay, one more time. So there. Just that hesitation. Yeah. So from there, we're going to move on to this barrier here. Maybe it's a bit close. Okay, so similar to a skill that we've done previously where we make it look as if we're going right before we go left. Okay, so I'm going to show you variations of the ones we've done before. We've carried the ball up to here. Okay, we've moved the ball to the left and we've gone around. Okay, we then looked at going here, shifting our weight across to cancel it off and go there. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is we're going to carry the ball. We're going to go over the ball as if we're going that way, and then we're going to go. Okay, so again, the skill isn't in how fast you can tap, tap, tap the ball sideways. A lot of it's in your upper body, okay, your body weight, where you're shifting it, and your footwork. Okay, so I'm leaning over the ball. I'm not actually touching it before I go out to the left. Okay, so again, goes there, carrying it there. Okay, so just that covering of the ball. Okay, you're shifting your body weight to the right before you're moving out to the left. Okay, and taking that space. Okay, so these are slightly different. So it's there, there. Okay, so it's just body weight. A lot of this is body weight stuff and upper body, okay, and small feints to try and shift defenders, okay, without having to do a tremendous amount of tap, tap, tap skills and risk making a mistake and losing the ball. Okay. The next one we're going to move on to, I'll show you this from both angles. It's more of a kind of a left-sided skill. It's a hesitation. Okay, again, it's footwork and body work. Okay, I'll show it to you from the front, but if you don't get a good feel for that, I'll show you from the side to see what we're looking at. Okay, so if you're moving down the left-hand side, you're carrying the ball, okay, you can organize your feet and your stick as if you're going to stop the ball, and then you keep going without actually touching the ball. So I'll show you what that looks like and then explain why it's effective again. So I'm moving the ball, I'm acting as if I'm going to stop it, and I keep moving. Okay, so I'll show you that from the side, see if I can do it at a more realistic speed. Okay, so I come from here, I've gone to stop the ball, and I've continued. Okay, so again, not a massive piece of skill. I'm not tapping the ball. It's not a big wide drag. There's not a lot going on. It's just a small body cues that defenders are picking up on. It looks like I'm putting my stick over the ball to stop it. Okay, and then I'm continuing. Okay, so I'll show you one more time in a bit more realistic speed. Get there. Okay, so all of these accelerate afterwards. Okay, I've hesitated as if I'm going to stop. If I can get this defender who's running with me down the left to hesitate too, as soon as they check their footwork, I bought a little bit of space in front of me and I can accelerate into that space. Okay, so one more time. From the side, there, I'm going to stop. And I'm pushing off that right foot to accelerate. Okay, so those are four slightly different skills. They're not the big drags and the lifts that we've practiced over the weeks. Okay, they've got more to do with footwork. Okay, they've got more to do with body work, angle of the stick. Okay, slightly different things that maybe don't require the same skill set. Okay, but they're just as skillful in executing them. Okay, so those 4 skills you can practice. Okay, they are effective. They should all be done with the change of speed afterwards. If you do it all at one pace, there's no mystery to it. Okay, these are just tricks instead of eliminations. Okay, once you get a defender to shift, you take that space that you've made for yourself and you go. Okay, so those are my 4 skills. Okay, you're going to work on those. Again, build up from the start. Video 1, watch them all through in order. Do them as they come, maybe a different day for each one. And you'll get to these ones. Yes, they're different. Maybe they're uncomfortable and you can't quite see how effective these are. Okay, but I'm going to hand over to Karli, and Karli is going to teach you guys some pretty neat tricks. Okay, so that's it for me, and we'll see you back in a bit.
Hey guys, so I'm going to start with aerials, also called overheads, also called high balls. As a defender, this is really, really useful for me to get out of trouble at any point, because you can do it off of a free hit, or I can do it on the move. So yeah, since you guys have access to the recording of this, I'll talk as if you have access to a field, but at home, maybe use a tennis ball or something, because you're going to need to practice against a wall, or maybe with a friend inside or a family member inside. So to start, for the high ball, you're going to want your right hand a little bit lower as you're just learning the skill. You can bring your right hand down a little lower and your finger down the back of your stick here. Otherwise, your left hand's the same, and it's very similar to a push pass. What you're going to want to try to start with is just a regular push pass, but without any kind of lead up to the ball here. So you can practice just against the wall, but just bringing your stick up behind the ball and pushing it forward. Okay, so once you've got that down, the difference now to get the ball into the air is just going to be to have the ball out in front of you a little bit more. So push pass, you can start from anywhere, back foot, middle of your stance, but for a high ball, we want it kind of in line with your left foot as you're stepping, maybe even a little bit farther forward. And what you're going to do is open your left shoulder and drop your right shoulder. Next, very important to get low. So you're going to bend your knees, come up behind the ball, and it's going to look like that. So I'll do it again. Just taking one step into the ball, finger down the back of the stick, dropping your right shoulder. And so if you have access to a net, maybe in a couple of weeks or whenever the fields open up, you can just stand a meter or 2 back from the goal line and practice putting the balls up into the top of the net. So nice and slow when you're learning this. It's really, really important to go slow. If you're going too fast, you're going to end up losing the ball this way. Pay attention to if it's not working. Is the ball going under your stick? Are you coming too much under? It's rolling that way. Just go nice and slow. As you get better at it, the ball will actually roll up your stick a little bit. You can get some nice snap on it as you go. So yeah, get close to the goal when you're allowed on the field and go as high as you can. And then do maybe 10 or 20 reps of that. And then you can back up a little bit, and then don't worry as much about the height, and just practice going forward with a little bit more ball speed. And then you can kind of find the angles that work for you. Yeah, so if you guys have, right now, if you have a tennis ball or something, just do it against your wall. Really, really, really go slow. As you get better, you can bring the ball towards you. That'll give you a little bit more lift. These are things you can maybe do in a game. If you have a defender in front of you, or someone, if it's a free hit and you just want to change the angle a little bit, you can start rolling the ball towards you. And same with the other way. You can just tap the ball this way and get under it again. So practice that with a tennis ball inside until you're allowed onto the field. Next one, we'll move on to the drag flick. More exciting. This is a really, really, really technical skill. It took me years to get to a point where I'm happy with my technique and consistent and comfortable. So today I'm just going to go through the footwork and a little bit of how you bring the ball up your stick. So drag flick, I assume you guys all know, but it's used on a penalty corner, and the ball is allowed to go up into the net. So you actually bring the ball up your stick and back off your stick as you go through the movement. Now the way you're going to do that is by putting your hands behind the ball here. So what you're going to want to do practice is that left hand coming under your right elbow here. So as you do the movement, we'll go through the footwork in a second, but as you step up to the ball, you want that left hand kind of behind your elbow here. And then that'll allow the ball to roll up your stick as you go through the movement. So next, the footwork. When I was learning, my coach had me just go through the footwork without a ball over and over and over and over again. So you're going to want to go about 3 steps back and 1 step over. Now start with your left foot. Left, right, left. Each step takes you closer to the ball. So again, 3 steps back, 1 step over, starting with your left foot. Left, right, left. You can see I'm going on a diagonal here. Now my left foot is in line with the ball, and I'm going to cross my right foot behind. So about a foot length away, right foot comes behind, and that's where you're going to want that left hand coming under your elbow here. And then the follow through. So that's what you guys are going to want to start with, the footwork, and just practicing bringing your ball up the stick. Don't worry about where the ball goes, just see if you can see it rolling up your stick as you go. So I'll do one in slow motion here, just the last step. Left foot beside the ball, cross over. Really slow motion, but that's what's going to happen. So left foot beside the ball, right foot crosses behind, left hand here, ball rolls up my stick and down my stick. So give that a try again with a tennis ball at home. You can just practice that last step that I was just doing. So 1 step away, left foot next to it, right foot crosses behind, hands behind the ball. So if I'm now pointing this way, you can see left foot in line, right foot behind, hands behind the ball. Here. That's how it's going to look. So I'll do another slow one. And again, left foot in line, right foot behind. And there you go. The last thing that's really, really important as you get better at this is to follow through with your right leg at the very end. So you do your 3 steps up to the ball, left foot in line, right foot behind, through, and that right leg comes around. And those are your basics. So
yeah, cool. Okay, perfect, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks to Karli for coming down. Okay, that was awesome. Okay, so take that all in. There's some great pointers there on how to do it. Okay, so that's the technique. Like I said earlier, you can drag flick, you can score goals, you can make any team you want to make. Okay, but don't be fooled. It's not an easy skill, and it's just practice, 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 practice. The same as all of these skills. Okay, if you work hard, you get down to the pitch. Maybe you're there 5-10 minutes early before training starts. Do a couple of drag flicks against the bottom piece of the net. Okay, this is all just practice. We all got good at these things by just working on them and practicing them. Okay, we have the giveaway, the prize giveaway from 2 weeks ago, the stick spin flip catch, whatever it's called. That's what I'm calling it now. Nobody managed the double spin, but I think that was for everybody's safety. So the bag will go to Kenzie Gurgis for a pretty cool spin. You don't have great friends because they all sounded extremely shocked on the video when you actually nailed it. So well done to you. And Mallory will be getting the glove. So congrats to the both of you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for trying. Thanks for engaging. Okay. Again, we'll clip these 2 clips into 2 separate clips. Again, you'll be able to see the skills for what they are, and then the drag flicking one as a separate one. It'll be on the same YouTube channel. Keep watching them. Keep training. keep trying, okay? Shoot us an email if you want to know anything, if you want to try anything, if you want us to look at the way you do a certain thing, okay? We're always available. And next week we will be covering hitting, sweeping, and tomahawks, essentially known as your bigger skills, okay? Not quite the niche little skills. Okay, a lot of us will be moving back outside. We'll be able to use the space that we have. Okay, so we'll be covering hitting, tomahawks, and sweeping. Okay, these are very important skills. And next week will be our last one. Okay, so be sure to tune in. Okay, and if you do happen to miss it, as devastating as that would be, you will be able to catch it on YouTube. Okay, so next week's the big giveaway. We'll be giving away a stick. We want to see your guys. Okay, obviously the Griffin stick. If you look at mine and Karli's, they are beautiful Griffin sticks, and they tend to work better than most others. We'll be giving away a Griffin stick, and we want to see your best drag flicks. Okay, so submit your videos. We want to see your best drag flicks, and
the 2 points we'll be looking for is the footwork that we went through and the ball coming up your stick a little bit. Okay, those are the 2 main things we'll be looking for on the drag flick.
Yeah, and try and use a tennis ball if you can. If you got the space and you can go down to the pitch, or you have it in your backyard, okay, rip a normal hockey ball, that'd be great. Okay, but again, from us in sunny Vancouver, thanks for tuning in, and see all of you and all of your friends next week.